Disclaimer: the following Boundless PodTrap episode contains strong opinions that some listeners may and will find offensive. If you cannot accept or respect others with a differing opinion from yours, then fuck off.
Rolling South.
I like turtles.
Shush! Alrighty. Let me see your war face.
Now, y'all ain't planning on fucking these chickens, are you?
Picture it. Sicily, 1920.
Aren't we fucking funny?
Streaming from the Midwest, right in the middle of the U.S. From Omaha, Nebraska, you're listening to the Boundless PodTrap, your entertainment podcast where we touch on all topics, from the crazy and absurd to the sacred and profane, and even the useless and unnecessary. The Boundless PodTrap knows no bounds. And now, here are your hosts.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, in which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
Amen.
West Side.
I think I forgot like a whole middle section.
I
think it's been nearly 30 years since I've had to say that.
It's been, yeah. You did forget like the third line there. It's, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Unless you want to do the original one where it doesn't have under God, which was added in like
and then
30 years ago.
And then Toby Keith kicks down the door. In America!
We'll put a bullet in your ass. I say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning when I wake up.
Yeah,
because I'm standing. How? How is that even? No, I'm usually standing at attention when I wake up in the morning.
Man, at your age?
Piss excellence. At my age. Man. You know, somebody did say that to me. Like, there's like, you're the same age as that person. I'm like, they turned 40. I'm like, I'm not 40 yet. And there's like, well, almost. It's like, well, almost isn't 40.
Almost is. Almost isn't. Almost 40. I'm going to be as old as you were.
Yeah, you are. I got a couple months until I'm 38. I got an expiration on my birth certificate, so I don't know if I'll get there.
Cool.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, hi everybody. This is the Boundless PodTrap.
Hi.
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 I am your very Jewish host, Lonnie. With me tonight is the formerly chubby, now not so chubby, Jeremy. How's it feel being sexy as fuck?
It's feeling good. I mean, I was always sexy as fuck. I just had a little extra cushion, but it's going away.
Going away, yeah. Not that he's humble or anything. He's as humble as Makimbe Mutombo.
Yeah, I'm proud of that. I spend time every morning looking at myself in the mirror without my shirt on. I'm like, I don't have the love handles anymore. I don't have the pooch belly as big as it was. So feeling energy and eating right and starting to exercise.
We were going to do a fucking Boundless PodTrap weigh-in when we started this, but I weighed myself this morning. I was like, nah, we're going to skip that.
What do you weigh?
I weighed, I had a doctor's appointment today, and I weighed 202.
202?
Yeah.
God, you're fat.
I know, right?
I'm at 180 right now.
Hey.
I started at 191, 192.
Yeah.
You weigh less than me now. The biggest, yeah. That's crazy.
But you know what I realized? Me and Justin were at the mixer. And yes, our office has mixers. And we were there. We went to be social. And we got in there and we're like, man, a lot of these people are douchebags. So we didn't really talk to anyone. We just ate a lot of hot tamales and played pool.
I don't know if I said that.
I'm taller than Justin. I didn't realize that. I'm like a couple inches taller than Justin, I think.
You have your heels on.
Yeah. Well, don't.
You don't have to impress me.
Don't talk about my style.
You get excited when you hear about a mixer and you get all dressed all.
I wore a tie and a dress.
And
no, but seriously, I didn't realize.
Can't go to 'em.
Am I taller than Justin, or is this just was I standing on a hump?
I don't know. You guys are sitting in fucking chairs across.
How
the
often do you look at us?
I feel like. Do you think I look at people and I'm like, oh, I'm going to judge them on their height?
You judge us on everything else.
He usually looks at us when we're laying down.
No, I did not do that on purpose.
That was us. Why are you judging him? Stop.
See?
That's fucked up. Some people have speech impediments, like the intro of our podcast. Jeez. Get a hold of yourself, man.
Jesus, some
This guy,
some
man.
people's kids,
I'm
I swear to
professional.
Christ.
Oh,
Bring
Justin,
it back.
how are you?
Bring it back.
everything else.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm
good.
Oh shit.
had a nice day off. I tried to go get my daughter expelled from school on her first day of school today. It didn't take.
You are a proud father of a kindergartner,
Yeah.
and you're the young one. God, starting early.
Well, my wife sat on a chair that I got done pleasuring myself in, and
I've
How
sat
comes
on
on?
that chair before too.
Man,
My niece started her first day of school today too.
I thought you were gonna say was sitting on a chair. But I'm like, let's not do that.
it might be your niece's baby. We might have to take this to
All
Maury.
right, we're gonna stop this conversation right now.
Just censor that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What is with the fucking sound effects? Like,
He's on it tonight.
tone
I feel like I'm
Tone
right
it.
here.
tone it down.
Doing it. Lonnie, I'll at least say, well, at least he's playing them through all the way. Not like before where you like hits the button. It's like work.
Well, that one kind of like goes in and
That
out.
one was stupid
It's
because I
just-
don't even know what it says.
It's a seg.
Segue.
Nobody knows that.
It's because you're
It
talking
is when you
over it.
play it through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Before, when you just like double tap.
I'm a double tapper.
Well, we got a fun episode tonight. We got some interesting topics. We're going to dive into some 9/11 talk. We've been trying to get a little serious on our last couple episodes. But tonight we're going to dive in to talk about, we're at that age. We're about 20 years out from 9/11.
20 years.
I don't think you
that's
could
a
say
few-
dive in. For the,
Wow.
I figure like this episode should have been a little bit more low key, a little bit more plain. So let's make it that.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna go ahead and we're just take a stab at 9/11.
Look, jokes like that will not fly over here.
Yeah, no.
Fasten your seatbelts.
What is wrong with you?
Let's roll.
Man, I can't make a smoking joke, but you guys can.
You made the joke. He could have left it in. I laughed because the more I thought about it, it's like that's ridiculous.
Really fucked up.
It is.
You're really fucked up. This is why we
But-
have a podcast.
But yeah, we're gonna talk about, unfortunately, the people who lost their lives, and then we're gonna talk about the tinfoil hat people who think it was all a conspiracy, and give our 2 cents on it, what we were doing that day, what we heard from friends, what they were doing that day, how it changed our lives, what the world could be like right now if that didn't happen.
Lots to discuss with that.
Yeah. And then we're going to play a game because we haven't played a game in 2 episodes, and that can't fucking happen. Just because I didn't really want to put too much work into an episode.
You never do.
That's bullshit. Last week I put a lot of work into an episode.
Wait, what did you do last week?
The music.
The music thing.
Underground music.
The underground music
I feel
thing.
like the music people did more work.
That's not true at all. They did the work. I had to find the work.
didn't do much
I had to get
work.
on YouTube and watch some videos and listen to some music.
That's what you do.
Well,
Every
you said
day,
you already
isn't
knew
it?
them.
Fuck you guys.
We'll let you have this one.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fun game. You got a couple decades worth of movie themes we're going to go over and see
I feel
how
like
you
he
guys-
needs to get punished. We'll give him a wet sock hand job.
hanging out. Well, let me just say this.
Doesn't he do that every day?
Let's just say this. Then Justin's going to give us an informational topic, and that's going to be punishment enough for everybody.
You're welcome.
That's true.
Class is in session.
No, yeah, Justin.
Wait for the bell.
What is your topic, Justin?
What are you teaching us tonight?
I'll figure it out when I get there. I don't know.
pyramid schemes?
No. I was actually, when he told me about what he was covering tonight, I was pretty stoked. It sounds like fun info. So one of those.
It's
where-
gonna like the thing with. I mean, obviously, I've already said it many times before, but with the Boundless PodTrap, we're not confined to certain topics, or we're gonna go broad. Like for me, this is something that I feel like
talking
needs,
about broads.
Yeah, talk about broads. Something that needs to be discussed because it's a basis of like communication, and then communication is how you understand certain things, or everything, I should say, verbal or nonverbal. Yeah, my topic is going to be about certain fallacies, and it'll be like an ongoing topic. We'll get into that when we get there. So,
Well, hopefully the topic is more entertaining than the explanation, because I'm gonna fucking put a bullet in my brain.
I checked out on that one.
But yeah, fuck. Let's Justin, go ahead and start us with your about fallacies.
Yes, why we have energy.
I got some
you
balls.
got- yeah, he's got balls.
Yeah, fucking Jeremy brought me some balls, some root beer balls, because Daddy needed some balls for the
All
night.
Jeremy brought me was latex gloves. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
and masks.
that's something else tonight. Tonight, if you guys are keeping track, tonight is episode 30. We hit another milestone. So
We're going to try to kill ourselves, Pop.
Just like every other milestone we hit, we have something special planned. After we get done recording tonight, we are going to...
A special video.
A special video as well. I got on the internet and ordered a mystery box for us to open for everybody. I actually ordered 2 of them because the first one I ordered had something leaking out of it, and decided I was just going to throw that fucking one away because I didn't want to... Whatever the fuck was out of that one, didn't want to mess with it. So threw it away and got another one. So we're going to open a mystery box on video, and we're going to have some fun with it. So
and I'm just letting you know, I'm so uncomfortable that it's sitting this close.
It's sitting on Jeremy's desk. It was sitting at my house, and then I made Justin carry it, and now it's sitting on Jeremy's desk.
It looks like it has neon orange zip ties all around it.
I think it's really sharp.
And it also looks like
I'm thinking it is
eating away from the inside.
I'm excited.
Not like alive.
I'm excited, but at the same time, I'm just, I don't know.
Somebody's going to get a chemical burn.
I'm glad you remembered to bring the gloves, because we both didn't.
Gloves and masks. I'm masking up.
He's masking up.
That tells you what, we haven't told what kind of mystery box it is.
What are the condoms for?
Oh, those are for later.
Yeah, that's our celebration.
He's wearing his entire PP.
I don't have to.
Do we
for some protection equipment?
Why is Justin just wearing a condom though?
For protection. Does this guy not get it?
Because he has 2 kids already. Yeah.
Needs to wear a condom at all times.
Just in case.
And then after we're all done with that, a couple of weeks, we're going to have episode 11 of the Boundless PodTrap movie review, where we'll be reviewing 1997's Drive.
It's a good movie.
It's a movie.
No, it's a good movie.
Yeah, good is subjective, but
I'm not going to give any information.
We're going to talk about
how
that
I feel about that movie.
when it comes up. But yeah, for now, Justin, go ahead and take the right.
The way you're saying that you should have, we did talk about that as our last podcast, but we're going to talk about it now, tonight. The movie podcast comes out before this one. So.
Oh, well, we talked about it then. Yeah. We record this all in a night, and it comes out over a month span. I don't fucking know. This ball's hasn't kicked in yet.
I don't think the listeners are going to be like, what?
Continuity.
Paco kicks us in this door and locks it.
Well,
and then he's like,
Paco's been on vacation for the last, 14, 15 days?
Yeah. He heard COVID was back, and he's
vacation.
How did I? He ran off.
He's had COVID 3 times.
He is COVID. That's his middle name. Paco COVID.
It makes him stronger. What doesn't kill you will make you wish it did.
It also made him lose his wiener.
Paco, give me Paco, 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 Paco. Paco, 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 give me Paco, 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 Paco.
All right.
That reminds me of something when you go to a baseball game.
Yeah, the little...
the batter comes up or whatever.
They don't have any cheerleaders, so they make the crowd do it. It's like, you're going to make me do my work for you.
I don't think I've ever... I've been a baseball fan since the early 90s. I don't think I've ever been to a baseball game with cheerleaders.
Yeah.
That's because
that's what the audience is.
Are that's a hard job to make people excited at a baseball game. That is the boringest sport to go watch live.
You're watching one person in a big
fucking
field.
guy who's a Husker fan.
You're watching 2 guys play catch and other guys just banging their gloves. I played baseball. Playing is different than watching.
Did you get to third base?
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Never made it there. I rounded third and found a bat on the field.
Keys.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take over. So we're going to be talking about fallacies. Do you guys understand fallacy? You know what fallacies are?
Yes, I'm fallacy right now.
So we don't know what a fallacy is? Well, all right. The reason why I want to talk about it, because I feel like it is highly important in our communication. It makes you a better communicator, especially in today's world. People nowadays really like to try to cancel you. It kind of goes back into previous topics that we have talked about, like cancel culture and all this. This is certain methods and ways of manipulation to kind of get the masses on your side. It's deception at its finest. If you can identify a fallacy, you can kind of better approach the subject matter with clarity. There's a concept that I want to briefly discuss. It's like the levels of escalation. This isn't necessarily with fallacies, but more so with like communication. So like you have your first level of escalation, which is communication. What that is pretty much being able to talk civilly or even arguing or something like that, but being able to have a conversation to reach a conclusion or some sort of progress. Then the second level of escalation is segregation. So that's pretty much separating people. It's like, obviously these people aren't going to work. So you go in your corner, you go in your corner, you guys can start your own little communities. We'll work from there. But even if that doesn't work, then the third level of escalation is annihilation. So you got your communication, your segregation, your annihilation. A lot of people these days, they like to start at level 2, and they kind of put the ball in your court to try to reach level 3. That way it just makes you look bad. And yeah, they move on from there. So these 2 fallacies I want to discuss today kind of correlate with that sort of escalation. A fallacy is pretty much like a... Do you know what a fallacy is? Can you give me a definition? Either one of you.
You want me to look it up?
No, you don't.
Well, you have it. You know it.
I do.
Tell us.
You're like a horrible student.
Well, you're teaching me. I'm not supposed to know this.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, no, a fallacy is pretty much like it's a failure in reasoning, which renders an argument invalid. So there's really no point to continue a discussion when somebody is starting from a level of non-reasoning, or it's a dishonest stance. It's like, why am I even arguing with you? Like, you're not even connecting, you know? Or it's like
So like along the lines of arguing fact that isn't fact.
Yeah. And then that's going to be the 2 fallacies that we're going to be talking.
Like COVID is infant embryos. Or not COVID, but the COVID shot is infant embryos.
Yeah, it is.
I did it.
Good job.
I did it.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is?
I did it.
Your arm is pregnant now. But yeah.
It shows.
That's what this gun is.
It shows.
Boom! You can't have that in here. But yeah, it's a mistaken belief, especially one that's based on like an unsound argument. It's bullshit to its finest. Ultimately, it's a pattern of reasoning that contains a flaw, either in its logical structure or in its underlying premises. Thing is, well, the 2 logical fallacies that I want to discuss today, which is highly popular these days, gaslighting and strawman. So gaslighting is kind of reaching more of a peak right now. I mean, like it came from like a movie back in 1986, 1984, somewhere around there with the same name, but was popularized in the 1934, but popularized in the 1942 movie, the American version, Gaslight. It's pretty much about like a husband who keeps on like changing the gas lights and dimming them down, and the wife is questioning him about it, and he's like, you know, you're going crazy. And his whole intention was to put her into like a crazy home, a psycho house. And
it worked.
Yeah. What is this guy doing?
Selfieing.
Oh, okay.
Teacher, he's got his cell phone out.
Yeah, but I think for me, fallacies are important because if you're able to spot them, you can kind of pinpoint their dishonesty and throw it back in their face. There really is no need to go along for some unnecessary emotional ride. Like a lot of these, especially these 2, I think pretty much all of them are based in some sort of like false emotion. Not necessarily false, but hysteria, emotional hysteria. In my natural style of communication, I usually don't attach myself emotionally already. Like I try to have like a level of reasoning and understanding. And like if me and you don't see eye to eye, I want to have like some sort of civil arrangement or civil conversation.
No, I'm just going to call you names.
Yeah. Usually when the name starts, then there's really no reason to continue the conversation. I find that it's either name calling or going into like, you know, Hitler always has to get brought up into like conversations. Like how often do you type something up and then just delete the whole thing? It's like, fuck, this is never going to get through. Like,
oh, I do that all the time.
That
I send them anyway.
It's just like a reface. I spent all this time waiting for the reface to load and but these are kind of awesome for average communicators online or even in public places, because with these 2 positions of gaslighting and strawman, they always argue from a basis of dishonesty. And with the like, well, I guess most logical fallacies are. But as said earlier, lots of people online like to start with level 2. If you can establish terms and like a stance, like your position or so, and work from there, you can bring it back to level 1. So, and if you kind of try to meet them where they are at that level 2, then they'll just, other followers or people who kind of join on to like the conversation, they'll just try to bury you. Like if they will try to purposely misinterpret what you are saying, it's like, that's not even what I'm saying. Like, You're not even following. I'm like, I'm breaking it down. But it's like name call, name call, name call. You said this, name call, name call. It's like, Dude, I first off, I didn't say anything bad about you. I'm not attacking your character. I'm addressing the argument, the issue at hand. It's like you're more so for trying to win the argument instead of understand the topic. But yeah, it's annoying. I think most people, like especially like the followers, even them, like most people like to try to stir the pot. So people who kind of get in on the argument, there's certain people I think me and you have had conversations with online, Facebook or so, where it's like, man, it's not even.
Oh yeah,
it's not even
constantly.
Yeah. So every time I see a person or this person's post, it's like I'm not even going to. It's pointless. This person is so far past. Like
I've unfollowed a lot of people just because of how they are.
Yeah. So you nodded your head when I mentioned at least gaslighting. Do you have what can you tell me about gaslighting or any experiences that you have with gaslighting?
Well, it's just from being in the anti-establishment culture, even the anarchist culture growing up, watching that newer kind of anti-authority-esque culture trying to gaslight the new, I guess the best way to refer to them is recruit culture, seeing them be gaslighted into how bad everything is, when in all actuality, it's not nearly as bad as we had it when we were at their age. There's certain things that, yes, it is much, much worse now than we had it, but yet we also had it in a very different, worse way.
Right. I think overall, I mean, the struggle is more made up to seem like it's more worse.
Absolutely. It's because it's so overinflated because it's easier to broadcast your struggle.
Oh, yeah. It's like the crime rates today, they're actually less going back in history. It's just they're more documented publicly.
Right. And seeing the amount of information that's gaslighted to the younger culture is, to an extent, I think, kind of ridiculous. So it's not only gaslit to bring people down, it's also gaslit to try to make people fight as well. It can be used in multiple different facets. So gaslighting can also be used to like bring people, I guess, quote unquote, up as well.
Yeah. The thing is gaslighting, by definition, it's like a technique to make someone question their own perception of reality. It's a excellent form of manipulation. It is a manipulation method.
Right.
And I don't necessarily say manipulation is a bad thing. I think
no, not at all. It's like having someone question an authority figure, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. Well, I think just day-to-day conversation is a mild form of gaslighting. Any sort of conversation that we have is kind of giving you guys ideas of how we are about, like, it's giving a perception of us.
Right.
And
I
don't want to say it's distorting your reality, but it's giving you new reality or new information to go off of.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, he's like this. Okay. Well, shit, I can jive with that. But it's not a deceptive way of manipulation. And manipulation, when I say it's not always bad, it's like, I mean, fucking hostage negotiators. Manipulation. It's like they save lives. They manipulate and save lives.
Well, and if you look at it that perspective, like fucking George Washington gaslit people, fucking Newton gaslit people, fucking Einstein gaslit people, philosophers.
Oh, yeah.
Like
any sort of leader, I guess, or anybody who kind of holds the position of power.
Anybody who came up with an idea, came up with a theory. Yeah, gaslighting is in essence seen as a negative thing, but it also can be seen as a positive thing.
Back in the day, gaslighting was more of a medical term, but it's more on a social level now.
It's to make you question.
Yeah,
and
for
there's
sure.
nothing, anyone who tells you that questioning something is wrong is
Run.
Yeah, is the worst kind of person you ever want to meet.
I like how you said that because it kind of speaks onto like a level of morality. And I hate when people use authority as morality. Right. It's like, are you saying it's right because the authorities say it's right? Or are you saying it's right regardless of if the authority says it?
And
right?
I'm not saying you should disrespect authority figures. I'm saying you can question authority figures without disrespecting authority figures.
Right. Your own morality and sense of justice or whatever is easily questioned, like just using a level of reasoning.
Right.
So,
if we didn't question information or question authority, we would never evolve.
Yeah. It would all just be like automatons.
Right.
Automatons?
Automatons.
Is that even a word?
Automaton.
Yeah, it's like a automatic footrest.
Automatons. Automatons.
Autobaton? It's an automatic baton.
Automatons.
Automatic.
How do you spell
I
that?
think it's automatons.
We have to stop the whole thing.
Stop, pause.
Just pause the ship. Good.
A moving mechanical device made in imitation of a human being.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Ottoman. Ottoman? Yeah.
Onomatopoeia?
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
An ottoman, something you put your fucking feet on.
Mofo.
A machine that performs a function according to a predetermined set of coded instructions, especially one capable of a range of programmed responses to different circumstances.
Man, they are learning so much through this educational segment. It's awesome. Anyways, so gaslighting also kind of enforces or induces like a sense of cognitive dissonance. And if you don't know what cognitive dissonance, it's Jeremy, do you know what cognitive dissonance? Please participate in class.
I am. I'm looking at stuff on this.
Do I have to take that away?
Cognitive dissonance.
Or are we going to have to lock down your internet privileges like we did with Lonnie?
Yes.
We
You
can't.
look up tits one time.
But all right, cognitive dissonance. It's pretty much holding to ideas.
Inconsistent thoughts.
There, he's cheating. He's reading it.
Good.
My computer's off right now.
You're so lit up.
It's just the natural glow in his eyes.
Yeah, no, holding two thoughts like the sky is red. Also, the sky is blue. It's like, well, they can't be two different colors at the same time. Like, and if you wholeheartedly believe it, like, you know, I believe in Santa Claus, or yeah, but Santa's fake. It's like those are two different.
Santa Claus.
You have to.
Santa Claus is fake, but I believe in him.
I believe in fake Santa Claus. But yeah, it's
Hopefully, no kids are listening.
Oh no.
There is a disclaimer at the beginning, so
We didn't say earmuffs, so it doesn't count. Yeah. They have to listen to the disclaimer, and yeah. Anyways, so many people who suffer with cognitive dissonance, they utilize like mental gymnastics. They always try to find some sort of way to reason themselves. Like Christianity. Thank you. They start from like the finish line and then work your way back. I'm like, you're having an unfair foot race. You're starting at the end and then trying to lay the tracks. Then it's like, no, we all have to start from nothing and then find the truth. You can't say that just something is real, but
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Did I cough there? I meant to say Christianity. if that wasn't clear enough.
That's really rude. With some truth.
Oh, but you're allowed to say Santa Claus isn't real, but I'm not allowed to say Jesus isn't real.
Well, Santa Claus is important. Christmas time is when everybody can get together and celebrate the birth of Santa Claus. So, but yeah, a lot of people have like mental gymnastics and they try to reason their way out of like these logical fallacies, and they're called dishonest people. Yeah,
They're called liars.
Yeah. Some extreme cases of people who are victimized, who are gaslit, they can end up with like low self-esteem or levels of anxiety, depression, and not always, but even like psychosis. Like they can truly become crazy because like if you, from a young age, your parent is feeding you all this stuff and it's like, this is all true to me. This is all real. There's no reason for them to lie. And like, then finally you realize they're lying, but you don't realize it. Right. You just kind of like succumb to whatever truth they try to implement onto you.
Right. It's losing faith in your support system.
Yeah. But like a lot of people who use gaslighting techniques, I mean, I feel like it's relatively easy to spot some narcissists and sociopaths, but those are usually the ones who are more likely to use gaslighting, more manipulative, more immorally. Let's talk straw manning.
What? Straw manning?
Straw manning. What's a straw man argument? Do you know what a straw man argument is?
A scarecrow.
Braun Strowman.
Pretty much. Yes, please.
Because it smells like bullshit in here. Everything that's coming out of your mouth.
Thank you. I have icebreakers mints. That's our
Eat it. Play our sound effect.
Eat it.
You just want a soundboard over there now too. No?
I do.
Play it. Push the button. Push the button. So straw manning, a straw man argument. You don't know what it is? You're kind of on the right path.
It's like a decoy argument.
For the most part, yeah. It's something that's more hollowed out. It doesn't have any truth. It's like person A gives the argument of X, and person B tries to take that argument, switch it out with argument Y. It's like, a lot of the times it's like, so you're saying, enter argument. And I'm not saying argument as in like a way of like to argue or to be brash or vocal about it. Like argument in like the logical or philosophy terms, it pretty much just means like having a conversation or a position or a stance. So that's how I'm using argument.
Okay.
Some people say like, oh, I don't like to argue. It's like, that's not how I'm using the word. There's different meanings to the terms. But yeah, it's primarily a fallacious argument to distract people from the actual point of the hand. It's kind of not that type of. He's getting all hot and bothered.
That's my favorite kind of argument.
But yeah, it's primarily something that kind of distorts the context. I'll give you a few examples here in a bit, but it's an exaggeration of someone's actual point. They're taking your point, they're ignoring it and running with something else. They're inserting their perception of what they think you're talking about. So it's like you don't even understand what I'm talking about. Yet you're wasting everybody's time talking about something else that I'm not even getting to. For example, like maybe a politician is like, I want to increase the funds for education. And then somebody's like, oh, so you don't care about veterans? It's like,
So basically all political debates.
for the most part, and especially more so now. But
Yeah.
it's like, no, I care about veterans, but I'm talking about strictly this. Someone pretty much makes a weaker, more attackable version of an argument to easily tear it down. Straw man. You can just knock over the straw man. There's no person behind that clothing of position, stance. You rather bend over a person, not a straw.
Yeah.
Squeeze it?
You got to
Squeeze it?
spit on straw a lot to get it wet.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh, trust me. I know. Back in Jeremy's day, that's all they had was straw.
It's still my day, and it's still straw.
You think you're still on top?
So what you're saying...
There we go. There we go. He gets it now. I think he's learning something. There's a few movies, with these arguments, these fallacious logical fallacies.
Fallacious.
Yeah, fallatio.
Yeah, that's what I thought we were talking about.
Yeah, like this
That's why I'm
topic
so-
wasn't like I was hard for 3/4 of this.
That's why I'm so
topic.
dumbfounded over here, because I'm like, when are we going to get to the blowjobs?
It's like, oh, that's why your pants are off. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not doing
anymore.
that. We're not doing that.
It's cold in here.
I'm not putting them back on.
So I've already mentioned the movie Gaslight, the 19 whatever, and Rosemary's Baby. That was
Great movie.
About gaslighting. And
What happened to his eyes?
It's like the husband was pretty much trying to make the wife like, oh, everything's fine, and
The whole apartment complex was.
Satan had a different plan on things there. Certain people who are like, I wear name brand clothing that is popular in the urban community, and then somebody else is like, wow, that's racist. It's like you're trying to gaslight somebody to make them think that it's something else. It's like, it's
Why did you have to use that voice when you said, that's racist?
because that's how they usually say it.
Who's
over
they?
text.
That's
Those people.
So what you're
Online.
saying?
The text. The movie What Lies Beneath with Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. I think she knows. Who? Your wife. That was all.
While you're talking about that movie, is anybody else in that bathtub scene where it's filling up? Do you get out of breath watching that?
No.
I get out of breath a lot.
I just, when the tub's filling up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm holding my breath along with her.
Why? You don't have to. She's doing it.
I know.
This is...
The much advice from Justin. You don't have to.
All right, session's over. Yeah, pay me my money. You don't have to do that anymore.
Be $75.
Yeah, leave it on the nightstand with everything else. Yeah. So yeah, those are a few gaslighting examples, a few straw man examples. The Crucible, that was a decent book, decent movie.
The Wicker Man.
Yeah, yeah.
Fast and Furious.
Or like
Babe, Pig in the City.
This is an example. Yeah, so we'll make this a little bit more personal. I'll give you guys some examples of gaslighting. Lonnie, why don't you believe in God? In like a sentence or two.
In a sentence or two, why do you not believe in God? I don't believe in climate change.
I think that you just want to sin. I think you hate God. You don't believe in God because you hate him. You see how I'm kind of like taking his argument. He gave me a stance, and then I just kind of flipped it around.
I believe in Hitler.
Hitler was real. Does believing in him mean that you give him praise?
Yes.
As in, like, you appreciate what he did?
No.
Some Jews, though. I can't go there.
Wow. But you did. But you did.
Calling the Jew hotline. Be here in 15 minutes.
I got my back to the door.
They're not open this late.
All right. Well, Jeremy, we'll make this
for
personal for you.
Oh, fuck you.
Why haven't you gotten the vaccine?
Oh.
In like a sentence or two.
Because we don't know enough about the long-term effects of it.
AIDS.
Maybe you just don't care about other people. That's it. You gave me a reason, and I just like flipped it back on
You know
to
what?
you.
I'm done with this fucking podcast.
Oh, we're going to level 2 now. All right. Segregation. That's why you're over there. Or that would be, I guess, level 3. We're going to You done with the podcast?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, and a few
Level
other
2.
things.
No, let's level 2 this. This is a fun game.
Oh, we made it to 30 episodes, guys. It's more than others. And that.
Who did that?
Who just threw my fucking phone?
Was there like some yoga? It was on your pants.
It was in my crotch.
Oh, how is it
Underneath
in
my
there?
nutsack.
He got hard.
I mean, people do that in prison, but
Crazy. Justin, why don't you have
Crazy
hair?
for Jews.
male pattern baldness.
It's because your hair is scared of you. I suck
I
at
don't
this
get it.
game.
I don't get it.
I think I'm pretty good at it. Justin, why are you a male man?
Like a male man?
Yeah.
Because of XY chromosome.
Oh, it's because you're a piece of fucking shit, asshole, motherfucker. Did I just annihilate it?
Yeah. There's no reference there. It does not follow. Does not compute.
Okay.
Yeah. A few other things like
Jeremy,
beauty.
why don't you have a girlfriend?
Oh, I'm working on it.
It's because your mother hates you.
Mom, I gotta make a phone call.
I'll be back.
So Beauty and the Beast. That was a form of straw man. You know, when Gaston is trying to rep up the bar goers, it's like, this guy is just gonna come down here and butt fuck you guys. And
what version did you watch?
I think that's Beauty and the Priest.
Oh,
no one fucks like Gaston. One cooks like Gaston.
Okay. I guess another like example of like someone says, I support Trump because of the tax reasons and benefits of my economic class. And then someone says, oh, so you support racism. A lot of the times, like when the sexism or the racism or all the isms, it's usually
Jism.
I don't want to, it's coming from a place of like ignorance. It's like you can't necessarily pinpoint something unless it's like I hate when people throw like the racism, and I've said this a few times already, but they just want to willy-nilly throw the racism, not willy-nilly jism, but it's like, no, you can't quite say that until it's like proven. I'm like,
oh, the race card is played a lot these days.
Yeah, but you get rewarded for your victimization, your self-victimization. A lot of the times these isms, they're like, we gotta rape culture, all this sort of culture, racist culture. It's like, I feel like the numbers don't follow. The facts don't follow. I feel like most of it is like a rape hysteria, a racist hysteria. Like most of the people just get up in arms, I guess, with a lot of the stuff. Open arms as in like hugging.
Journey.
Yeah.
Open arms.
Most any infomercial, that's kind of a form of straw manning. It's like they make you try to buy a product that is flat out straw manning. Like it gives you like this false perception that what you are doing is all wrong, but by acting out very outlandish and stupid performances, that their product is so much more convenient than the bullshit that they just kind of showed. It's like, no, nobody does it like that. You're making it so outrageous. It's like, now I need like this hook, because every time you get out of the car, you just fall and nearly end up in the hospital. So you just got to put this hook to the side of your car just so you can like, you know.
Don't fucking say anything when you go to Hershberger.
Because I don't. There was a microphone stuff. It wasn't me.
Oh my God.
You heard it clear. Yeah. The media itself is all about, well, gaslighting and straw manning. Media itself, they use like selected quotes from other people and they purposely misinterpret somebody else's intentions. Not only is it straw manning, but it's also like appeal to authority. People use that like, well, I get my news from, this sort of source. It's like,
if it's CNN,
you kind of
wrong.
Got to check out both sides before you have, or do your own research. We have tools available to us, but we don't, we as a people, human race, we don't check into the facts. We just go with it. It's like Jeremy said, we don't have enough information for like the COVID, but COVID is not anything new. We know a lot of the stuff about COVID. We know how to get, the strains and all that, like, what do you want to call it? Not the strains, but we know how to counteract it. So it's not something that we've been, this isn't about COVID. We'll just move along with that one. Because I know
sounds like it is.
Other hot topics, we can say like the war on Christmas.
Fuck Christmas.
We hear that almost every single year. And I think, because Lonnie and I probably...
We celebrate Christmas at Who's God the Elder?
Lonnie more so than myself, but he kind of follows the things of like the Church of Satan, like what they are doing. And I love a lot of the stuff that they do. And it's like, nobody's trying to cancel Christmas.
No.
It's trying to cancel the over pushing into the public, which laws strictly forbid.
I was going to say the act of Christmas is fine. If you want to exchange presents, if you want to do all that, that's fine. Santa Claus, great guy. Whatever. If you want to put a tree in your house, awesome. That's all based on paganism. Whatever. None of that is based on the Jesus H. Christ or whatever his middle initial is being born in April and being a black man. Like, no one acknowledges that. So keep your church out of my Christmas. I'll keep my Christmas out of your church, and we'll be happy.
Thank you. Other than that, legalizing certain sort of drugs. A lot of people use that as like certain straw mans. Like, oh, so you want to legalize weed now? Okay, now what else are we going to legalize? Like cocaine and crack and
bunny ranches.
Bunny ranches.
Yeah.
I don't care. You do everything you want, but the first motherfucker who touches a synagogue or says anything bad about Hanukkah, we're going to fucking blows. Don't you even fucking start.
Where's blows at?
That's what I thought this was going to be about, but
oh. We'll get there. All right. Yeah. So war on Christmas, legalizing of certain drugs, certain political positions, or there's always.
Why'd you point at me when you said
because
that?
you agreed to something when I originally brought it up about the politics. They're always all about that.
I thought you were saying I look like. So you're saying I look like Donald Trump?
Yeah.
You're very white.
You can't even hold on to your phone.
He's peach. He's a peachy.
He's a peach.
It's not saying that two positions can't be correct. Like people who do straw man, like their position, it could be correct. It's just that's not the topic at hand. It's like they work to try to deflect. And people who deflect are really good at some certain sports. Okay. Yeah.
Why did you look at me for 10 minutes?
Well, it wasn't 10 minutes. It was
Don't like it.
In podcast mode, it's only going to be like a half a second. So, yeah, there's certain ways that you can kind of counter straw man arguments as well. The three I've already briefly discussed on one of them. So one, point out why you think their position is a straw man, so they have to defend their position. Sometimes a lot of people just let it go. It's like, no, hold them to it. You got to take them back, especially if you want to get that topic handled. So challenge them on it as an attempt to assure that they can see their own fallacy. Make them realize that, you see what you're doing. This is a straw man argument, and this is why I think it's a straw man argument. Now, let's bring it back to this. Engage or level a position of honesty. Number two, which is probably the most preferred method, because a lot of the times it's pointless to get in an argument with somebody who is not going to reason. A lot of the times you get to their idea by way of emotion, and you cannot reason somebody out of an argument or a position, a stance that they've got to or they've arrived to by way of emotion. It's like there's no getting through to them. So just refute the whole thing. It's like, your premises, there's no reason for me to engage. Number three, steel man their argument. Do you know what a steel man is?
Like horsing it out, be like, this is my stance and nothing will change it.
A robot?
No. Yeah, like Shaq, Steel.
Really?
Remember that movie? You guys remember that movie?
Like real steel?
No, Shaq. He was like a metal worker, and then he became like a superhero. Steel. You guys don't remember that?
What was it called?
Steel.
Oh, I don't.
Steel.
When did that come out?
Was that like after Shaq Fu?
It was probably around the same time as Shaq Fu.
Then no, I don't remember.
Yeah. All right, so steel man. It's pretty much filling out their straw man. It's like, okay, I will see your stuff through, and then I will pretty much identifying their stance and saying, this is correct, right? And getting them to say yes. Usually once you can get them to say yes once, you can get them to say yes again. So point out their stuff, I guess go on the ride with them, and then bring it back to your topic at hand. Online, oftentimes, there is a obvious and devious method of creating a straw man, which should give you pause before proceeding. Most anytime someone says, oh, so you're saying, they will interject a straw man argument to purposely misunderstand your position and give themselves the illusion of superiority. In addition, since this is an online and public, many people love to bandwagon, which is also another fallacious argument. A lot of the failures just kind of jump on board. We won't get into that one today. So yeah, you can state clear facts, but people misrepresent your point by appealing to emotion and prejudices. Pretty much, yeah. See, look at him. He's making fun of me.
Prejudices.
Lonnie's got his own. Did you just bark at me? You can't bring that in here.
Dude, is that like...
All right.
I know that sound.
I got sound effects.
So asking questions for clarification, it helps build understanding and shows you are listening. That's kind of one of the main things that you need to have when you're engaging in communication. I don't know what this guy's doing. So like when you're engaging in communication, it's always best to have like active listening. Lonnie?
I'm listening.
This guy, you know? Yeah. So active listening kind of shows that you're understanding, or at least you're trying to understand. A lot of these times when people propose like these sort of fallacious arguments, they're not listening. They also just want to be right. And it kind of gives you that little dopamine fix when it's like, I'm right, you're wrong. Everybody here says I'm right, even though they're all just kind of following on my bullshit argument that has no bearing.
Well, if you keep using the word fallacious, a lot of people are going to pay attention. Be very upset when the conversation is over.
What the fuck?
So I'll just close it up here. In conclusion, logical fallacies is a great tool to manipulate and get over on other people if you want to be a dishonest piece of shit. Otherwise, being able to understand their usage, to be able to spot them in a discussion, you can easily refute their whole premise instead of entertaining their deception. No need to emotionally invest in someone not worth the time. Now, Jeremy, Lonnie, and myself are going to go suck each other off. And
yay!
Finally, the fellatio.
This is called foreplay. You need to talk about certain things and you know, get it going. This is a verbal...
Ugly, you're ugly, and your mother ugly, and your sister ugly. You just plain old ugly.
Verbal lubrication, that's all it is. Yeah. Thank you.
Verbal lube.
What's happening?
That one wasn't me.
Is that me? You sound just like me when you did that, man.
What happening?
What's happening?
That was a lot of good information though. Like if you want to be an arguer, that's good information to have in the holster.
I try not to be an arguer though. So
that's you're doing it fucking.
I think it just depends on how you approach it though. Like arguing, like I'm sarcastic. I can be sarcastic. I think my sarcasm is probably, or humor is like the most aggressive part of me.
You have humor
sometimes,
and it's aggressive.
What the fuck is your? I can't even find a button to press to whatever.
Hold on, let's see if I got one.
That used to be my text alert message until I got sick of it.
You say that every time it plays.
What's
that?
Like, what is happening to this episode right now? We're on episode 30, and we should be professional, and
I think it's breaking.
We're just going off the cuff here.
You are one pathetic loser.
There is something I kind of wanted to also add on to this. It's like, because learning how to communicate kind of creates like, you know, like certain societies. And there are, let's just start from the beginning. When a society starts, it's kind of like in its infancy stage. So you have like a baby society, and then they'll begin to compete for ideas using status, and they'll try to make it like a sport out of it. And then after that, those ones with the power, they take their seats and they try to rule, and it's all like posh-like. But then things go against the society, and society itself will work to add a bit of pushback and add its own little flavor to the fairness quite gingerly. And then full outright war will happen and things become scary. So once it settles, the cycle restarts, you know, and you can use like these arguments. So you have like your baby society, sporty society, posh society, ginger society, and scary society. So, yeah.
You know when he's speaking bullshit because of how his voice gets and how...
Because I'm serious, and I need you to know
ginger
that I'm
was
serious.
my favorite society.
I had a thing for...
Posh was mine.
For the sporty...
Posh?
The sporty society
Sporty?
For whatever reason.
Sporty, huh?
He does come
like
off
that
as more
dark
of a sporty.
society?
What?
Scary Society is a fun one.
It was scary, the dark society?
Scary was the fun society.
Okay. Yeah, I like the ginger society.
You would.
I would.
I question people who say they like the baby society.
Wow.
You're fucked up.
They need to go.
I just would have liked like the full gamut, like a big octagon of societies.
I don't even know what's happening.
Just like a big loving, like, if you want to be my lover of societies.
Well, you do got to get with the friends, so. Yeah.
Don't tell me what I want.
But we know you really want.
I did a play when I was in high school, and
about Spice Girls?
Kind of. It was like a detective, and it's like reading some stuff off. It's like, what does this guy want? It's like, sir, there's a note. It's like, it says, I want to what? I want to what?
You're stupid. Get out of here right now. And I'm not even joking. You're done with this fucking podcast.
I'll see you guys later.
And he left.
My favorite argument technique is just being like, are you done? Are you done? And then being like, yeah, fine. And being like, okay.
And then you roll over.
And then being like, what do you have to say? Nothing. I'll take it under advisement.
That reminds me of a Kevin Hart thing when he talks about how like women are right 99% of arguments, but he's just like, women, I'm going to tell you this right now. If a man ever hits you with this line in an argument, are you done? Are you done? Know that he's about to fuck your world.
And that's I got nothing. The first line you said, you won. I'm just, okay, you win, whatever. Like, stop it. He's already dead.
It reminds me of another stand-up where it's like, men lie more than women, but women tell the biggest lies. So, men will be like, nah, I wasn't over there. But women be like, it's your baby.
Had to have been there.
Yeah. I was on it. I could do this live.
Lonnie, say something.
Lonnie, do you want to move to the next topic? Do you want to move to the next topic?
Saying that, I watch way too much Maury. It's flooding through my head all my favorite Maury episodes of You Are Not.
And then they run to the back crying. It's like, you knew the whole time.
Right.
That's not my baby.
She's like, yeah, but I mean, I was seeing other people too. I just didn't want to be that guy.
Right.
I wanted to be
now
him.
I don't know who the dad is. Like, you've fucking tried 11 people. Might as well try the other 14 people who live in town.
Some of the people, man. Ooh. Or they had to bring like 4 or 5 people on. I'm like, oh my God.
Jaquan.
Is this for real or is this scripted? I feel like some of these are scripted.
Jerry
at this point.
Springer.
They are.
Yeah, Jerry Springer used to be scripted because I think I've told you this
You
story.
had friends that went on it, didn't you?
Well, no. And I told you, I don't know if I told you this story, but a good friend of mine, his name was Uncle Craig. His wife, cousin was a producer for the Jerry Springer show.
They named him Uncle?
No, his name was Craig.
Oh.
But we called him Uncle Craig because he was quite a bit older than us. He was in his late 30s when we were just 20-nothings.
Because he gave you candy?
He tried to give us much more than candy.
And presents on Christmas?
He did give us a bunch of VHS horror movies, and we're like, great, now we have to find a VHS player.
Oh, he's got people locked up in his basement if he's...
No, great guy. But his wife's cousin was a producer, and she'd always be like, hey, you guys want to be on the show? We're like, no, we don't have anything crazy. She's like, no, we come up with the ideas. You just go on the show. And it's like, really? She's like, yeah, if we ever have anything crazy we can't fill people, would you consider coming on the show? You get X amount of money, we fly you out, put you up for the night, you be in the show, we give you the scripts, you do your best, you got to get point A to point B, but everything in the middle, it's like your own dialogue.
I'd do it.
In a fucking heartbeat.
Minus the flying, if they let me drive.
Let you drive out there. But yeah, at the time, Trace was like, I don't know. I was still playing a lot of music at the time, so my mind, I was like, I would be recognized right away, but I didn't care.
I can't see Justin on there.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't believe that you would have sex with your cousin.
Why not?
Have you seen my cousin? He's fucking hot, bro. He's at least a 7.
So, what's the next topic?
Well, we'll jump into mine. I got a fun one here for you guys. We talk about horror so much, and we talk about trivia questions so much, but, I found some good ones, and when I was laid up, wasn't able to do much, I really got into really diving into my trivia and my knowledge in movies and really trying to study up because I felt like I was letting my other knowledge of movies go down. And I found this dude who does theme songs of movies, not theme songs, but like tracks for movies. Like, how this song makes you think of this movie and blah, blah, blah. I got a bunch of those. So I'm going to test your guys' 80s and 90s song knowledge of movies today.
All genres?
Not genres, but like this 15 seconds theme. What movie is this?
That's what I'm saying. Like it's...
All genres of movies.
Yes, all genres of films.
Okay, yeah.
I've got the 80s and 90s. I'm going to play you 15 seconds of each song once. Like, I'm not going to stop it. I'm not going to start it. You get 15 seconds of that song. I'm going to have you write it down. Tell me your answer. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not. We're going to go through 25 of these, and then at the end we'll go over whether you got them right, you got them wrong, and see who the winner is. So if y'all want to grab a piece of paper and a pen there.
You said 25.
We're going to do 25 of them between the 80s and the 90s.
Star 104.5.
I'm going to play something else here just to make sure that you guys can properly hear.
The only glasses brand that lets
That's an ad.
Ferris Bueller.
change your clothes.
But you can hear that fine, no problems?
Eyeglass. Yeah. Whatever.
Okay.
Hundreds of styles. It's
All right, so number 1, are you ready?
No.
DX.
Boom.
We're not supposed to say.
Nope, just write it down.
No, these are movies.
These are movies.
These are
And these-
either or 80s or 90s. You're not telling us what
I'm
it is.
not telling you. It's
Are-
80s or 90s.
Are these main titles, or it could have been played anytime in the movie?
It could be played anytime in the movie, but it is a main title associated with the movie. This isn't be like, this track was played in the background of scene A. This song is known for the movie.
Okay. My first guess is like so far out there.
You can tell me. I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong yet, but
What'd you get?
I'm not saying.
I already
Okay.
have an answer.
ready for number 2?
Ready.
Here she comes.
Cakewalk.
Yeah.
So obvious.
I don't know what it is.
Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, that's what I had.
Right, right.
Fried green.
Let's become.
Number 3.
No, they're just movies, not TV shows.
Just movies.
I got
All
it.
movies.
I got a TV show on that one.
All
so.
cinematic adventures.
You don't know that one?
It's a TV show.
Okay.
Write down your TV show. I can't 100% guarantee you'll be correct, but
All right.
all right. Next one, number 4.
everybody get up. It's time to slam now.
Okay.
We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. It's your chance. Do your dance.
I don't know
I'm
what
going
he
to
did.
go ahead and say pay attention to the lyrics in this one,
So obvious. Fried green tomatoes.
right?
That one too?
We're just going to roll straight into the next one on this one.
Wow. Why do I feel... Okay, yeah.
When in doubt, fried green tomatoes.
Twin it out. Fried green tomatoes.
Is it a jackal? It's a jackal.
It says jackal, obviously. All right, going to number 6. And it doesn't matter subtitles. It's just the main title. Doesn't matter sequels.
Thanks for those hints.
Of course.
It's a Christmas one, right?
Because that is something we'll run into numerous times on this list.
Are you ready for the gook?
What's that?
Are you ready for the gook?
The gook?
Are you ready for the gook?
Gook it. Gook it, Machina.
Somewhere Crystal is cringing. Oh, no.
Next one.
She's clenching.
Number 7.
How popular are all these? These are relatively popular.
These are main movies, yep. Major blockbuster movies.
I have like 5 movies that come to mind when I hear that.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Na, na, na. Na, na, na.
Can we give 2 answers?
Yeah, if you want to be disqualified.
Yeah,
Shut the
I'll
fuck
take
up. Who said anything to you over there?
I'll take
with your stupid hat.
So
I'll take
what you're
I'll take the
saying
first
is-
one you
What?
give me.
Yeah, what I'm saying.
So what you're saying
Jeez.
is you find I'm sexy. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Right, but fried green tomatoes.
All right, next one.
Did I just go deaf? Oh my god.
You seriously don't know it?
I know it. Oh my god.
This was the one that I'm like, maybe this one's too hard, but
Hakuna Matata.
God, that last one I know it, but I know it.
Oh, he's writing down a second answer?
I scratched out the first one.
No, you sneezed.
all right. Number 9.
Favorite movies.
Just that first.
I'm not gonna sing it because he's struggling with
Jeez.
this one. I know if I sing it, he's gonna know it.
Sing it.
Suck my dick.
Ah, fuck.
What
Fuck.
becomes
Next one.
of? That's funny. Beautiful. The moon. Some guy made this in his basement and be in.
Oh, into the next one. It's rolling, boys. Meh, meh. That was 11.
Kathy Bates.
Hold on.
Psycho.
Hold on.
It's Drive. You're right.
The only one that I have not been sure on is the first one.
Very first one, yeah.
And then there's another one where I'm about 85% positive I'm right.
Was it number 4?
No.
Because that was Space Jam.
That's a gimme.
Why can I not think of this?
Because you're thinking of fallacies.
Probably.
Number 12. Number 12.
This guy was married to Heidi Klum.
The Ma'o.
Does it sound exactly like him? Baby! All of a sudden, Seal's in the office next to us. He's like, "Hey,
If they redid that,
$6.
do your best impression of like today's music redo of that. Like, you didn't give us a chance.
Wait, did you just skip one?
No, that was the end of the last one.
Okay.
All right, I got it.
Are you sure?
God, I hope the fuck so.
Does your answer have the word green
Tomatoes?
in it?
As tomato? Oh.
We're just going to roll through this one right in.
We're on 13. This is 13, right?
Yes.
It's 14.
I don't know this one.
Uncle Buck.
Everybody's favorite Christmas movie. All right, ready? Going in number 15. 15.
It says James Cameron written all over it.
Does it?
Are these all live action other than Space Jam?
Space Jam was live action. 16.
It also wasn't live action. Tell me, princess, when did you last
Who the
let
hell
your
is-
heart sigh?
Who the hell is singing? Gary Coleman?
Tell me, princess.
I can show you the world. Shining, shimmering, splendid.
All right. 17.
Are you doing your impression of somebody?
Like, I feel like, have you ever seen a movie before?
Sometimes.
Do you not know that one?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were doing your impression of somebody in the movie. Good thing I didn't do my impression because it would have gave it away then.
Do your impression.
Nope.
I did one for you.
I'll do it at the end.
Oh, damn it.
Can we put money on this game? Because I feel like I might be cleaning house. I can show you the way.
All right, next one. Number 18. Guys both on 18?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh.
You got the same movie twice.
I've gotten the same movie 18 times. Fried green tomatoes.
Tawanda!
It's a good movie, actually.
I like that movie. 19.
Oh.
20.
In the Beast. Okay.
Now, this one I am going to require which sequel? Because this is a very specific sequel. Because I was only in one of the sequels.
That's the one where, not the one with Petrie.
Yeah, it was the
Okay.
one with Petrie.
All right.
Kathy Bates.
Street Fighter.
Double Dragon.
Good movie. With the actor who was in our last movie review, Drive, Mark Dacascos.
Cool.
22, getting towards the end there.
I can almost feel it.
I don't know that one, so my answer for this, Lonnie, is for you.
Yeah.
Remember number 22.
22. We'll put a little star next to it. Ready for 23?
Oh, yeah.
Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
I already know what that one is.
All right. Ready for 24?
I already have 24 down.
That one's not 24.
Damn it.
The next two are going to be...
As I walk through the valley.
Oh.
Just take the cotton out of your mouth.
Thank you.
All right.
Are you going to read these off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, we're just going to...
No, it's just...
And then move on to the next
Yeah,
topic.
next game.
Yeah.
All right. And then the 25th and final one. Are you boys ready?
Yes.
Is it? Hold on. What do you think it is before he plays it? Don't play it.
It's not that. It's not the one that you thought it was.
It's going to be, hey, this one, hey, one, hey.
Unemployed. Everybody wants to have
Oh, yeah.
Well, he hasn't done many horror-themed ones. I would say probably A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street? What do you think?
I'm going to say Halloween.
Halloween.
He's more of a Halloween dude.
Let's see.
Freddy's his favorite.
I know, but he's more of a Halloween dude. Told you. Wherever you are, you open a door and my heart will go on. Oh, shit.
Got nothing for that one.
All right. So I'm going to assume Jeremy won. But we'll see by how much. And I want to hear what some of Justin's.
I think he should go first because I did scratch out just beforehand. I scratched out 3 of them.
Okay.
Wait, do you want to collect these?
Well, no, I'm going to have you read them.
Should we?
That's why you're going first.
That's why
because
you're-
I'm not going to change mine.
I won't change mine.
Yes, you will.
Mine can't change.
Oh, shit the fuck.
So
So what you're saying,
That's a fallacious argument. And, I need you to spot that.
I am not flaccid.
Oh.
All right.
Hey.
So,
Hold on. I'm still writing 25 down.
okay.
Everybody wants to hey.
Everybody wants to. Hey, hey, hey.
Everybody wants to
Hey, my headphones are gone. Hey. Oh, they're back. You can cut this mic.
Oh.
Do it. He has so much to live for.
You
How
can-
are you thinking that hard? I don't even remember what the song sounded like.
Da 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 da.
All right. Are we going to go like 1-1, 2-2, or?
I'm just gonna go one. What are your answers?
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And then
Let's
I
do it.
say what it is.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that was fun. We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have them read their answers, and then they are going. I'm gonna assign points once I hear how ridiculous some of their answers are, because I feel like some of them they're not even close.
Oh, yeah. Like number one is way off.
All right. So number one, I started with probably one of the hardest ones on the list. So Justin, we're always gonna start with you, buddy. What'd you get for number one?
Cocktail.
Cocktail. Okay. Jeremy, how about you?
I did Who Killed Harry Crumb.
You guys are both incorrect. That was Transpotting.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Love that movie. Great movie. Wouldn't have got it. Wouldn't have got a million years.
It's very slow.
It's
if you
good.
like drugs.
It's a good movie. Yeah, it's a good movie. Okay, number two.
Willy Wonka.
Okay, how about you, Jeremy?
The Goonies.
That is correct. It is The Goonies.
All right, half point.
You really put Willy Wonka?
Yeah.
You're so
Dude, I've told you I haven't seen
bad
Willy
at this.
Wonka.
Okay, number three. Justin.
We're on 2 questions, and you're like, you're so bad.
You are. Willy Wonka? Get out of here.
Number 3,
Yep.
the sandwich, like a club sandwich, like a breakfast club sandwich.
Hey, attaboy.
The Breakfast Club.
Breakfast
yeah.
Club.
See, he
all
changed
right.
his answers. He's writing it down right now. Look at him. Look at him.
Starring Okay, 4 we don't even have to do.
Okay, yeah. I'm hoping so.
You also.
Space Sandwich. How about number 5? Justin, what do you got?
Hold on. Let me change my answers with him, too. Titanic.
Really?
Yeah.
That's really what you... God.
That's
Let me see, just to make sure you're not fucking with
It
me.
says Titanic.
Let me see.
Oh, I won't change my answer. I know I'm right.
Okay, how about you?
Jurassic Park.
It is, in fact, Jurassic Park.
That was my second. I'm close.
They were both movies. How about number 6, Justin? What'd you get?
Star Wars.
Okay, how about you?
Indiana Jones.
This is Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Do you have dyslexia?
No, because I was thinking about the last one while I'm filling or listening to the next one. And it's like, okay.
How about number 7?
Toys.
Toys. Hey, okay, how about you? Number 7.
It's Terminator.
It is Terminator.
Oh, really? Well, toys is pretty much.
I mean, it wasn't a human. It was
did
something
make-
of a toy.
They did make action figures for Terminator.
Okay, number 8 was another tough one. Justin.
Did you get that one?
I am 99.9%. I got it.
What did you get?
Nope.
What did you get? I'm reading it.
No, I'm not falling for that.
Oh, dude, I am the most honest person here.
Nope.
Oh, Land Before Time.
Land Before Time is incorrect.
Liar, liar.
That is correct. Attaboy.
See, you're getting all the Jim Carrey ones, and he's gonna.
All the one. There's been one Jim Carrey.
Well, there's
You got
another
all
one.
the Jim Carrey one. All right. Number 9. I close my eyes.
Dude, I couldn't think of the name. I put Bruce Willis Driller movie. I can't think of the name of it.
While you were sleeping.
Armageddon.
Armageddon. Thank you. Thank you.
Dreaming.
I'm counting it because I had the right movie.
Yeah,
I'll give it to
that.
you.
Yeah.
I'll give it to you.
If you would have said Ben Affleck,
When Bruce Willis drills Ben Affleck.
I'm in. Okay. Number 10.
I feel like this is in a few movies, but I had Turner and Hooch.
get the fuck out of
Are
here.
you serious?
Are you doing this on purpose for
Are you really this bad?
This is in a.
Because I laughed at this because I said this as a joke before, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, yeah. Huh. But it's also in Turner and Hooch when he's like shaking his head.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It is not.
Yeah, it's in there.
What movies are you watching?
These movies.
Are you just inputting songs like, hey, remember when this was
See,
in
I watched.
Titanic?
They changed the songs when you watch like the foreign version, so it's like,
God dang.
yeah.
That's so crazy.
Okay.
This is humor.
How about number 11? What did you get for 11?
Miami Vice.
That was a movie. You can't fault them on that. They did make it into a movie.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, I was on it. It's the same premise.
It really was. How about for number 12? At this point, I just want to see how many German missed.
The Jim Carrey movie. The Batman. I got Batman. I just put Batman.
Okay, that
Batman
counts.
Forever.
Okay, good.
And if you miss this next one, Justin, I'm gonna pee on you.
I'm wearing the movie shirt.
Fourth encounter, Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, next one, 15.
D Hard.
Oh, we're on 14.
D Hard for 14.
Yeah, 14, D Hard. Did you get that? Is that what you got? 14?
I put Gremlins.
No.
This fucking guy. This I don't get.
Fucking man down. No.
He even gave you a hint.
I'm telling you.
He said it was the greatest Christmas movie. I already had it down by then, but
few on here, but okay.
Wow. Okay, number 15.
Loser has to take it. You've been losing.
I don't think I got 15 right at all. I just put Avatar.
Okay.
I put Ferngully, which is Avatar. Pretty much.
They both incorrect. It was Braveheart.
It's the same thing.
Actually incorrect.
Yeah.
It was, in fact, a completely different movie called Braveheart. How about 16?
Al Aiden.
Aladdin.
This next one apparently Justin did not get.
It's 17.
I put Home Alone.
Really? Do you really put Home Alone?
I did.
Back to the Future.
That's right. All right. I think because around then I was still trying to figure out the name for number 9.
You were going like this, and I thought you were doing Doc. That's why I was just like, and so I was going to start doing Marty. I was going to be like,
so
I'll do Marty.
I get a half a point for my impression.
I'll allow that.
All right. 18.
I got Backdoor Bros.
I mean, you're close.
I took a swing with this one. Mrs. Doubtfire?
Incorrect. It was Richie Rich.
I just watched that movie not too long ago.
19. Justin, what do you got?
The Never-Ending Story.
Incorrect.
E.T.?
E.T. it is.
And I just watched that last night. That's fucked up. Yeah, I did. My daughter really likes it. That's her movie right now. So.
Going down the rails.
And that was actually one of my favorite movies growing up. That was my favorite movie.
Apparently,
He just doesn't listen to any of the words or anything that comes out of it.
I just like the picture.
My oldest
It's
daughter.
got an alien, I think, in it.
I was getting something out of the fridge today, and Zora, my 5-year-old, she said something. She's like, "'Cause you're a penis breath." I'm like, "What? What did you say?"
She's not wrong.
Yeah, and then and I'm like, "Where did you get that from?" She's like, "E.T." I'm like, "Oh, don't say that. Don't say that."
She pays more attention to E.T. than you do.
I guess. Next
What's
time,
that from?
I'm calling my lifeline next time.
All right. How about number 20?
Number 2, Rocky.
Incorrect.
Rocky 4.
Incorrect.
Is it
All right.
3?
Rocky 3.
I was actually going to put 3, but then I didn't commit with the numerals.
I couldn't think, and I'm like, I think
Yeah,
it's the one with the Russian.
No, it's number 3 with Mr. T.
Oh, well.
All right. 21. Please tell me you guys got that one.
Mortal Wombat.
Mortal Wombats.
Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Now you must die.
Why am I circling these? Man, I got so many of these right.
Yeah.
Why?
22.
Notebook.
What's your answer over there?
I said Schindler's List.
It's fucked up.
I mean, you're not too far off. How about you?
I put The Notebook.
The Notebook. It is Platoon.
It's pretty much our movies combined. Yeah.
Potato.
23.
Dude, this struggle. I
struggled on this one.
Yeah. It reeked of Tim Burton. I put Edward Scissorhands, but I know it's not it.
Okay. It's actually surprising what this one is.
I said Critters.
It is not Critters. It's Men in Black.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not the theme song, though. So.
I'm just go ahead and hopefully put that Jeremy got this one right. Justin, what do you got?
The Beast of the Beast.
What?
Best of the Best. Isn't it?
That's the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Is that what you put for this movie?
Yeah, that's the name of the movie. Isn't it?
Oh,
No,
okay.
fuck. It's what's his name?
What do you have written down?
I have Best of the Best, but it's the Eric Roberts.
No, yeah, that's Best of the Best.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your answer?
And
Yeah.
You are fucking
shit.
You're
stupid.
the worst of the worst. Karate Kid.
Yeah. Same thing. It's in the movie.
You said Eric Roberts. Like, you're not getting that one back.
The best of the.
Hold on.
What do you hear when you watch movies?
What is it? What is the song?
Mr. Mugachi.
It's in the end tournament in Karate Kid when they do the little music montage.
I'm pretty sure Best of the.
That song is not in Best of
No
the Best.
Are you sure?
I 100% promised you.
Good Lord.
I'm pretty sure it's in there. Gotta be.
I
Anyways, and 25. What did you get for 25?
Me?
Yeah.
For 25, I put fried green tomatoes.
It is incorrect.
I put Homeward Bound.
It is RoboCop.
I was thinking RoboCop.
All right, Justin.
Those are also both similar movies.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Justin,
I only lost 9 of them?
You got 9 correct. Jeremy, you got 17.
Wow.
Fucking best of the best with Eric Roberts.
I still, the ET one gets me. I just watched it last night.
Yeah, I did.
With apparently earplugs in.
So my topic is about E.T. What was this movie? I don't know.
I'm proud of the Liar Liar one.
That one, yeah, that was a good one.
That one is really, I could hear it. And the only thing I just remember is the dialogue after it from his son.
Huh.
Was that your, was that
So close.
You're the best.
Yeah,
What?
same movie.
It's not even
Same.
like the same tempo. It's not even a man singing.
That's because you're way over there.
Okay.
And you can't, the acoustics in the studio, it's so off.
Ooh.
The ones I'm proud of you guys. Yeah, the Liar Liar was a tough one.
I also did a bonus. I got Dangerous Minds on here.
Dangerous Minds, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was a bonus for, but that was on there.
You've been spending most our lives living in the gangsters.
Who was that,
Yeah.
Kid Rock? You sound like...
Yep.
You guys both got Space Jam. That was a good one.
Did we?
Most everything that had the title and the lyrics, we got that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I can help you.
Thank you.
I mean, Batman Forever, that one stumped me.
Did it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was one of the Batmans I really didn't get into.
I just remember the music video.
That was the best one. That had Busta Rhymes in it.
And Jim Carrey.
I don't
Well,
know.
it didn't have Busta Rhymes in it, but it had like this music video, like the "Put Your Hands on My Eyes Can See."
I don't know what about a 5'7" chubby Jew makes you think that I would know a Busta Rhymes video.
Come on.
I kind of want to.
He had some awesome videos.
Next time we do this specific game, I think I want to take the reins and
Flip
pick
mode.
out some stuff.
Yeah, the big head mode. That was pretty.
That was
cool.
fun. I like that. But no more games for at least an episode.
No more games. Next episode, this non-game.
I'm texting Jeremy. Lonnie's doing a game again.
Well, that was good. So are we on to our main topic?
Main event of the evening.
So we all, for the most part, I would hope, remember what transpired on the date of September 11th, 2001, almost 20 years ago. We're a few days away from it. So I figured we would talk about that day. But before we get into discussion, I have a timeline here to give a little refresher course to people of what transpired that morning on September 11, 2001, which started out like any normal day would. So it all started at 5:45 a.m. Hijackers passed through security in Portland, Maine, and board a flight to Boston. 7:59 a.m. Flight 11 takes off from Boston for Los Angeles. 11 crew members, 76 passengers, and 5 hijackers on board. 8:15 a.m. Flight 175 takes off from Boston for Los Angeles. 9 crew members, 51 passengers, and 5 hijackers on board. 8:19 a.m. Flight 11, crew members alert ground personnel that a hijacking is underway. Shortly before, one hijacker stabbed passenger Daniel Lewin, who was seated in front of him. 8:20 a.m. American Airline Flight 77 en route to Los Angeles takes off from Washington, D.C. 6 crew members, 53 passengers, and 5 hijackers on board. 8:24 a.m. Attempting to communicate with passengers, a hijacker contacts air traffic control, unwittingly alerting controllers to the attacks. 8:37 a.m. Boston Air Traffic Control alerts the military. Air National Guard jets in Massachusetts are mobilized to follow Flight 11. 8:42 a.m. San Francisco-bound United Airlines Flight 93 takes off at Newark following a delay. 7 crew members, 33 passengers, and 4 hijackers on board. 8:46 a.m. Flight 11 crashes into floors 93 through 99 of the North Tower of the World Trade Center. 8:50 a.m. President George W. Bush is alerted. 8:55 a.m. The South Tower at World Trade Center is declared secure. 8:59 a.m. Port Authority police order the evacuation of both towers. A minute later, the order is expanded to the entire World Trade Center complex. 9 a.m. A flight attendant aboard Flight 175 alerts air traffic control that a hijacking is underway. 9:03 a.m. Flight 175 crashes into floors 77 through 85 of the South Tower. 9:05 a.m. President Bush learns that the second plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. Also, Flight 77, passenger Barbara Olson calls her husband, U.S. Solicitor General Theodore Olson, who alerts other federal officials of the hijacking. 9:37 a.m., American Airlines Flight 77 crashes into the Pentagon. The crash and fire killed 59 on the plane and 125 on the ground. 9:42 a.m., the FAA grounds all flights. 9:45 a.m., the White House and U.S. Capitol are evacuated. 9:59 a.m., the South Tower collapses in 10 seconds after burning for 56 minutes. More than 800 people in and around the building are killed. 10:03 a.m., United Airlines Flight 93 crashes near Shanksville, Pennsylvania after passengers and crew storm the cockpit. 40 passengers and crew on board perish. 10:15 a.m., the Pentagon's outer ring collapses. 10:28 a.m., the North Tower collapses after burning for 102 minutes. More than 1,600 in or around the building are killed. 11:02 a.m., New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani orders the evacuation of Lower Manhattan. And finally, at 5:20 p.m., after burning for hours, 7 World Trade Center collapses. There are no casualties from that one. So that's what happened that crazy day. I don't even know the words to describe it, but I guess I kind of want to start off with like, how old were we when that happened? Where were we when it happened? What do you remember from that day? Lonnie, we can start with you.
Let me see, 2001, I would have been a sophomore in high school, which I think we're all pretty much around that same age. You would have been a junior. I would have been a sophomore.
I was a senior.
You were a senior. Okay, yes. Then I was.
I think it was a freshman.
You graduated in 2002.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been a junior then.
Yes.
Okay, so you would have been a sophomore.
I probably was a freshman again.
Freshman again.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember that day very thoroughly because I stayed home from school sick that day. I woke up super ill, just puking my guts up from the night before. My mom was always that super strict parent about, you know, make sure if you're sick, you're sick. And I woke up that morning super early and I was like, I really am sick. This isn't a fake thing. I'm sick. She's like, okay, go back to bed. She's like, I'll wake you up before I go to work. I woke up naturally without her waking me up, and I wandered into the living room, and she's sitting in the chair just with like kind of tears streaming down her cheeks, but just in that like my eyes have been open for so long in shock. And I remember sitting down next to her in the couch watching as the first tower fell, just being like, what happened? And she kind of explained a little bit and just thinking like, well, I'm too young for this to be happening. My brain can't comprehend this. Because at that time I was like thinking you're an anarchist and thinking you want the world to explode and everything to change. But when it does, you're like, oh, I might talk a big game, but
you're called out on your bluff.
Yeah, I'm not ready for this to actually happen. And from being in bands and traveling quite a bit, I instantly jumped on the phone, jumped on the internet, was checking with my friends who lived on that side of the country, being like, are you guys safe? Are you away from it? How are things there? And I could get a hold of most everybody, but a lot of the communications there were instantly down or instantly plugged up. And so a lot of them I didn't hear. So I was kind of sick, worrying about them. And then from being in a small town and being in kind of a redneck community, that instant, like there's patriotism and then there is blind patriotism, which is, I think, is what a lot of the country went into, is that blind ignorance patriotism, and having to deal with that town of 100 people where 50 of them were that, let's grab a gun and go over there and fight anyone who doesn't look like us, blind patriotism, like having to deal with that for the next couple of days and not knowing, is that what the world's going to be like now? Is that what our country's going to be like now? And added on with the additional, like, and you and Justin had it as well, probably worse than I did, but Omaha, Nebraska, and specifically Bellevue, Nebraska, when shit goes down, is this area is the number one, bring the president here.
Because
like
of the Air Force.
Yeah, it's hide the president here because we're in the middle of
the U.S.
nowhere. Yeah, and we're far to get away from. So my mind panics into that, like, oh, we're the next place to get hit.
Yeah.
And we're like, I'm 20 minutes away, but you guys are in the heart of it.
It was literally like 15 minutes from my house.
Right. So in my mind, like, well, if they can drop a bomb that blows up a huge city like New York, why couldn't they easily miss and hit my small town or hit our surroundings? And that's where my mind was going. And yeah.
It was, I remember, so it was my senior year, like I said. I was in band. I was on the drum line. And I would always get there. I think it was like 6:30. We had to get there every morning because we'd practice for like 2 hours for our band competitions. And so we were outside when the first two planes hit. And when we were coming back in, I just remember it was the teacher aide that was in the band room. She was just sitting there in one of the chairs looking up at the TVs that were on in there, and she was just crying. And I looked up on the TV, and all I saw was the New York skyline and just smoke. And it was just, I just remember it looking yellow. And my first initial thought was there was a gas leak in Manhattan, and something like a building exploded or whatever. Right. But then she was saying stuff about planes and whatnot crashing into buildings. And I just remember a bunch of kids were like speculating like it was the Japanese or something coming after us, like because of Hiroshima or whatever it was. And I guess I was naive, or I don't know if that's what I'm looking for, as to not really comprehending and understanding what was going on, even after hearing more information about it. Like I don't know that I was just thinking like terrorist attack and whatnot. But the one thing I remember too was my second hour class after band, I was an office aide. So literally all I did was sit in the office for that period, and I would deliver notes to classes. And usually on a normal day, I would have like maybe 2, possibly 3 notes that I deliver to classes. That day I came in there and there was like a stack of notes to deliver to kids because their parents were on business trips. And I remember going into classrooms and like girls and some guys were just like crying because they thought that it was their parents' plane or whatever. Right. And it was nice. All the notes that I gave were to say, hey, your parents are safe. They were not in the air at the time, or their plane was not the target. But it was such an eerie day after that because I had early release, and so did my buddy. And I don't know if my car was in the shop at the time, but I remember my dad picked us up from school, and he had a pickup truck. And this is back when you could actually sit in the back of the bed of a truck. And so we sat back there driving home, and it was just the craziest thing because there was no traffic in the air. There was no traffic on the streets. And it was just that drive home was almost like a zombie movie. Like you just felt like you were in a ghost town. And even when we got back to my house, my buddy and I went out in my backyard on the trampoline, and we're just like kind of like letting it finally sink in. And then we saw some like fighter pilot planes just like flying off in the distance. We're both like, this isn't good. Like, but they were escorting Air Force One. Air Force One flew right over my house. I felt like it was about 20 feet above my house. But it was, I don't know, that evening too, because it was like every channel on TV, and I had cable back then at the time, like 70 some channels. Every single channel was on the World Trade Center, or they were off air. Such an eerie thing. But Justin, what do you remember?
Like I said, it was probably like my second, or I guess starting into my second semester of freshman year. I don't know if I may have said that. I fucked up my first freshman year. I was 16 at that time, and I was in first period. And I remember just finishing the class, and we would, change, shower or whatever, and wait till the bell rings to go to the next period. And the coach or the gym teacher, he had his TV on, and a lot of the other students were crowding by the door. And I remember kind of measling my way over there and checking on what's going on. And like some of the people were distraught, and some of the people said that they had family who was over there. I don't know if their family was affected, as in like tooken or what have you. It was a bit surreal because at that time we didn't have access, like constant access to the internet. Our source of news was the news. And like, we have the ease or dis-ease of just checking in and seeing what's going on, checking a live feed, getting different sources. It's like the sources back then relatively said all the same thing. It played the same towers being smashed into, the fall, the collapsing of the buildings. Although I don't remember seeing the collapse of the building until like the day or two prior. I remember catching, maybe 5 minutes of a few replays the news anchors, it was muted, so we couldn't really see anything. We were just reading the text along the bottom or so. And I remember going to my next period, and people were kind of making more of a
bigger deal.
Yeah, acknowledging a little bit more. Like, it was more sinking in. I don't have family. I don't have like friends up there. Like I said, I was 16. I was also quite naive. The ability to just like check in and look into the news. Like, I didn't have access to like the internet. I mean, the internet that I had access to, I had to go to the library, the school library. I guess some of the rich kid friends, they were the ones who kind of had it. It's like, I didn't even have a cell phone until 5 years later after I joined the military. Well, sorry, about 3 years later. But it was crazy. The times back then, the taking that all in as like a teen, I don't know. Like, a lot of people try to commend me for, you stepping up around that time and join the military. It's like, yes and no. Like, I didn't want to be on the front lines of anything, with all that, because first, I don't know the enemy, and I'm not the type of person who just automatically gonna subject somebody as my enemy. Like, you're my enemy now, and all that. Lots of times in certain times of war, I mean, you can make friends with the people who are on the other side of the line, but it was just watching the people jumping out of the windows, the constant replay playing back.
That's crazy you bring that up, because that's my next topic about the people jumping out. Like, what it must have been like for them that was the better option.
Well, and you got to think that 10-story fall, there's a 3% chance is better than a 0% chance.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to go burning or the instant pancake.
But I mean, I'm sure it is the better option, but it's still, I mean,
it's gutsy.
That's a long way to realize. I mean, you're falling for a good 10, 15 seconds.
It's more instinct. I don't think you think about shit like that. It's like being in places where, I don't know have you ever been in a fire? And like whatever you want to do just to get out of there, it's fight or flight. Like, you want to just go. Like, you can't feel yourself breathing. So it's like, just get out somewhere. Even though the fear of heights or falling, or it's nothing like feeling your body already burning, even though it's not that close to the flame just yet. But
well, I mean, there's some where it's just like they didn't jump. They were kind of like dangling there,
and then they hang and drop,
lost grip, or they did just let go. And the people that were down low, like there's plenty of videos I've watched on this, just 9/11 in general, not just people jumping, but the people down below that are watching the people. And I mean, I've heard the sound effects of them like hitting the ground, and what it must have been like to be down in Lower Manhattan that day. There's a documentary that I have at home. It was a National Geographic one about it. Pretty good one that explains things in detail. And when it gets to the part about jumpers, and they're interviewing some of the firefighters that were able to survive it, they can't even finish talking because they just start choking up about it. And I don't know. There's that one famous picture of I don't know if it's the Running Man or whatever, where it's one of the jumpers and he's upside down and he just hands are at his side, and just, it's weird to say this, but he looks like he's just at peace.
I mean,
like he's accepting.
Yeah, or just anticipating the impact.
Well, and
something.
What a lot of people don't understand about a lot of the New York City and a lot of the boroughs departments and a lot of the Staten Island fire departments and whatnot is 35%, and that might be an egregious number, are paid. Like, the other 65% of those people are all volunteer.
Yeah.
Like, they do it because they love it. They do it because they want to serve their community. They don't make a fucking dime from it. They work at their full-time jobs, and then they go and I can't say be heroes because they don't acknowledge themselves as heroes. They go and be superheroes to make up for stuff like that. And so many of them lost their lives trying to.
And they knew they
save
were.
Their lives. Yeah.
They went in the buildings knowing they weren't coming out.
Yeah. They're like, if they can save 2 people, it's worth more than their one life.
I don't know if you remember that picture too of in the stairwell of one of the towers.
Oh yeah.
The people going down, the firemen's coming up, and the one fireman's kind of looking at the camera, and it's like you can just see in his face that
he's not. He doesn't want to, but
the end of the line for me. And I mean, that's a way to go out though, if you're going to be saving others or at least attempting to. But I don't know. Let's talk about like how have things changed because of 9/11?
I think the immediate response is like the locals that we do have that are Middle Eastern. It really sucked for them because they were targeted. They were It's like
They still are.
yeah, well, yeah. It's like you look any sort of Middle Eastern, Syrian, Iranian, like even no matter how long they've been here, even if they were raised as babies or so here, it's like they're not the enemy.
Yeah.
But there was like a lot of Americans who were actually going online, checking out like the ISIS websites and trying to get themselves jumped into ISIS because of whatever.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, I look at like the airports alone.
Oh, yeah.
Before 9/11, it's just weird to think about it. It's like
smoking
you
planes.
could smoke in planes. Anybody could go to the gates with people. Because, I mean, that was what we did when we were younger and like a family member was going on vacation. We'd all sit with them and
kind of wave from the plane.
And then once they board, you're waving as the plane backs off and stuff. You can't do that. I don't remember security even being a thing. Like, did you even have to put your bags through anything?
June 2001, me and my buddy, his girlfriend broke up with him, and he was kind of going through a mental breakdown. And we jumped on a plane with our guitars, with a backpack and a couple acoustic guitars, went to North Carolina for the day and flew back because tickets were like $100. And we flew back that same day with nothing in our bags and a couple acoustic guitars.
Did they even check your bags?
Nope.
See, that's the thing I don't remember. Like, I can't even remember
we had
what it was
carry-ons. They put them on the thing that went through.
Yeah.
We went and sat in the airport for like 3 hours and then jumped back on the plane and flew back. Like, that's the kind of way it used to be. And to think that was a couple months prior to...
Well, didn't they allow, like, you could have, like, pocket knives and stuff like that, too, on the plane?
It was, like, within 4 inches or something like that.
I mean, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it not box
knives?
cutters that the hijackers were... And, like, it's easy for me to sit here when I was not in the situation, but it's like, in my mind, I'm just like, how did you not... if somebody held a box cutter to me, yeah, I know I'm going to probably get cut, but it's like, am I going to fear for my life? No. I mean, that's one of the questions. Like, what would you do if you were on a plane that was hijacked like that? I mean, again, not knowing what it was like, because nobody knows what it was really like on that plane.
I think a lot of people who even try to answer that, what would you do? This is what I would do. It's like, you don't know until it actually happens.
Right.
I feel like I would have been on that plane that took over and crashed in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Even if you were 5 hijackers, technically 3, because 2 of them stormed the cockpit and killed the pilots. So there's 3 of them left out there. They're not armed with guns or anything like that. I don't know. I've heard things about like possibly they had tear gas or something, which I don't know. But I just feel like if something like that's happening, if you're going to die anyways, fucking at least try to go out in a blaze of glory. I mean, I look at the pictures of the hijackers and I'm like, they look as scrawny as me. I feel like there would have been plenty of people on that plane that could have just like snapped them like toothpicks, get them in a chokehold or something.
I think you are kind of confusing. Well, not confusing, but like people who look like that are from a different. Well, there are people who kind of have matching body types or stature here, but the people who look like that here, they don't live the same life. They live a hard life.
Right.
They're not afraid to die, and people who have that or who lack that fear in their eyes, it's like they're a totally different breed. When you face up against that, like you put somebody who matches them weight class wise, all that, they're done for. I mean, like these people don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I know. And again, I can't stress enough. I'm not saying that the people in the planes that were hijacked like didn't do the right thing, and I don't know the situation, and I'm sure
we unfortunately never will. Yeah.
I mean, all you have is that black box recording of, which I was going to send you the audio clips from some of those things because they're on YouTube, of like when the terrorist thought he was talking to everybody in the plane, but he accidentally clicked over to air traffic control and he's like, just calm down, everything going to be all right or whatever. And it's just, I don't know. The whole thing is just, and the thing, I think it started back in 1993, the planning from bin Laden to do these attacks, and
which we supplied them with the weapons and all that.
Yeah, so. Which that's kind of like, I'm kind of jumping all over the place here with things, but might as well. But there's some conspiracies that go along with this. One of which is that the Bush administration knew, and the United States Armed Forces also had enough information to know that these attacks were going to happen, and they didn't do anything about it. I was going to ask you guys, like, if that were the case, what is the benefit from them letting this happen?
I don't know if it's necessary of them letting it happen. If they
not giving information.
Yeah, I think if they knew about it and they didn't give the information, it was to try to keep a peaceful. they seen it as such a minimal threat, they thought they could either stop it or it was such a minimal loss that they could contain it.
I don't know if I mean, the World Trade Center, everything kind of went through there.
Well, I don't think they intended it to get that far.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, they probably did like sit on their hands for certain things. I mean, like you can't necessarily, well, I guess with the plane, you can control the timing to an extent.
Thinking it from a completely douchebag statistical standpoint, and a country of 4 billion people or whatnot, losing 50 people, like statistically, is that a bad thing? Like, if you're thinking about it from a douchebag statistical standpoint,
when you're in that position, like, you do have to make that hard decision.
Right.
But yeah, it was a lot more than 50.
So it became a lot more than 50, yeah.
Playing like the devil's advocate here. So say they had all this information. How does the United States prepare or try to ward off an attack like this? Like what could they have done to try to do it? Because at the time, thinking back, we could have harsher security things at airports, but back then people would have been like, what the fuck? Why do we have to do all this? I don't think that the United States people would have wanted to cooperate.
Well, they don't, because it's an infringement of certain freedoms that was more of a...
I'm sick of people using that. I mean,
it's more of a... It's not a right to fly. I mean, it's more
a choice.
It's a... What's the word I'm looking for?
It's a privilege.
Privilege. It's more of a privilege. It's like, to operate a vehicle, you need a license.
Yeah.
To get on a subway, you need like a ticket or some sort of fare. Like, you're still paying for it, but you should abide by whatever they set for you to ride. A store clerk can refuse your service.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So an airline can also refuse your service, no matter if you've already paid or are trying to.
Right.
But again, I go back to the question, what are things that they could have done to try to prevent this?
I think they could have handled it better internally. Like, I think they could have done more on the inside from like an FBI or CIA level, tracked more of the ticket sales on who is buying these tickets, where are they coming from, who is using these tickets. Because even back in that day, the flight records, they did happen. And there was still lots of, you knew who was getting on flights. You knew who was buying the tickets. You knew who was selling the tickets. So you could track them and just have more marshals on planes. Even if there's 5 guys with box cutters, I think 2 federal marshals on a plane. And that's not an obscene request.
But how many planes are there? How many flights take off per day if you're putting 2 U.S. Marshals on every plane? That's a lot of work. And I also think too, back to your thing about tracking where the tickets are coming from. If I'm remembering this correctly, all the hijackers were U.S. citizens. I thought they had been over here for a while. Because, I mean, they were taking classes. Like, they went to universities to learn how to fly planes and stuff. They were blending in with society. So
what was that?
It wasn't like they were buying tickets over in Afghanistan or wherever. But I don't know. I feel like
on Iraqi kayak.
Whether the whole thing with the Bush administration knowing things is true or not,
wasn't this one where they came in and told him and he was just reading kids' stories and
yes,
yeah.
Well, he was reading kids' stories, but George W.'s story changed because he was in the classroom reading to kids or watching kids being read to when both planes hit. And he was told after the first one and then after the second one hit, there's that video of him where it's just like the guy whispers in his ear and then he sits back and you can tell that his body's there, but his mind is elsewhere. But later on, George W. Bush in an interview says that he was told the first plane hit and then he's like, I remember standing out in the hallway watching as a second plane hit. It's like, you didn't see the second plane hit. You were in the classroom reading to kids when the second plane hit. So is that what you were going?
Yeah.
With?
It's like he could have, I mean, when he was told the first time, there could have been like some sort of measure to be taken. I mean, I feel like most stuff has to come down through him, but I mean, there are other organizations that could probably step in if shit got serious. It's like, there's a lot of organizations. I mean, we know like FBI, CIA, but are there others? There's others. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
But, I got a number, 27,000 flights per day.
27,000. So that's
50.
Over 50,000.
54,000.
That's just commercial flights, major and regional airlines.
Man, I think a solution could have been and could still be a thing, although I don't really think hijackings are much of a problem these days.
Cryo sleep.
But yeah. No,
Make everyone.
training not only the pilots, but the flight attendants, training them on using handguns and stuff like that. So they have access to guns or whatnot. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes that's bad because we go to another topic of like, teachers should have guns and stuff like that. It's just like,
there's some shitty kids out there.
That could be a good thing, but that also means that it's making it easier for kids to break into your desk where the gun's at, or if you're carrying it on you, they could take it from you. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if there's an answer to this. Like I almost hate saying it, but I'm thinking this playing out the way it did might have had to have happened.
It's also hard to say that too. It's like
very hard.
People can prepare. I mean, like it's always best to prepare for the worst.
Right.
Plan ahead. Usually if you don't plan, you plan to fail. But
are you ready for the best conspiracy theory of all for
9/11? Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, but I mean, like once people plan or figure out ways, like even if they're armed, other people are going to figure out ways, like 3D print weapons, things that can pass by certain shit. It's like anything that's on that plane, anything that's in any of those suitcases can be some sort of weapon. A criminal is not going to, just because you have better operations, higher class levels of training, doesn't mean that the criminal is going to stop entirely. They're going to find different ways.
Right.
And especially those who don't care if they die anyways.
Right. Well, which obviously was the case in this situation.
And that doesn't mean not taking into account bioweapons that can't be tracked. And that's a whole different thing once you start getting into bio or chemical weapons. And
I always thought that was interesting. It's like some of these, I mean, these people are a little bit more, but like the people in like the, their, I forget the name of their robes and stuff. It's like, you guys know how to make all these intricate, like technological bombs and stuff, but you still wipe your ass with your hand. How is...
Technically, we do too. There's just something between our hand and our asshole.
Like rub it on their stomach
not when you use dollar store toilet paper.
Yeah,
fingers
one
just
wipe and
press right through.
Palm.
Where did I had toilet paper in my hand when I started? All right, what's your conspiracy?
It was Kermit the Frog's fault.
This should be stunning. Why?
It was. So, in A Very Muppet Christmas, 2002's TV film, It's a Very Muppet Christmas, when Kermit the Frog is in Manhattan, he is in Manhattan and he wishes he was never born. And they do a flashback scene of what it would have been like if Kermit was never born. And they use old stock footage pre 9/11 when the towers were still there. And they forgot to edit them out. So in the flashback scene of a 2002 movie, they used footage from pre 9/11 with the towers still there. So in a world where Kermit the Frog didn't exist, the Twin Towers were still there.
So it's Kermit's fault.
So it's something in Kermit's life.
Well, they did that with Spider-Man too, but then they did come back and edit it.
Because wasn't there going to be like, there was a spider web between two towers or something?
I think that was in the trailer, but it wasn't in the movie.
Yikes. We all know System of a Down. Their Toxicity album, Chop Suey, that came out after 9/11, but in the song Chop Suey, when it says, wake up, grab a brush and put a little makeup, in the background you hear somebody say 9/11. It was before 9/11 happened. And the people say the lyrics to that song kind of make sense to the events that transpired that day. So you have to go back and listen to that song. And
I feel like you're hearing what you want to hear with that.
No, because my buddy at the time when that happened, he was pretty good with sound mixing and stuff like that. And he took it, and I mean, he cut out everything except for that background thing. And I mean, it's clear as day. It says 9/11. Like he didn't say anything else. It was 9/11.
Is it? You sure it's not the one he wanted to? Not that one?
Yeah, it's that one.
It's not.
But no, not that you want it to. It's in the background.
Huh.
I'll play it for you when we're off air recording. But so another one is people think that this was controlled, and that the buildings, when they collapse just like a controlled implosion would be.
Collapse down rather than.
That's one that I've kind of entertained. It's like it does kind of. There is some sort of fact to it. It's like the physicists and stuff that go through it. It's like there's a lot of them reach the same conclusion. Like, well, it makes sense.
It really does. And there's even like flashes before it happens, which, I mean, I don't know how a building like that's on fire. I mean, that could be electrical things exploding inside. I don't know, but I mean, and it is because no other buildings are really damaged when that happened. It's like it fell straight down. The 2 Twin Towers and then World Trade Center 7 or whatever it was, they all just fell perfectly. I don't understand the concept behind that one. So
the thing I didn't understand is like the Pentagon, there was like the debris that was
not there,
gone. Right. Like it just happened, but where is it?
They didn't find any traces of a plane with that one, and there's really no footage of it either.
Right.
And that's the thing too. Like 2001, we were getting there with the tech stuff. It's not as tech savvy as we are nowadays, but why was all the surveillance footage, especially at the Pentagon? It's the Pentagon. Right. And we have one camera, one security camera outside that's like the shittiest quality. That's all we have. We don't have there. You can't tell me that there's not like hundreds of cameras on that property to where we could have seen something else, like a plane approaching or anything. But I don't know. I'm not one that believes that 9/11 was any kind of real conspiracy. I think it was terrorist. They wanted to send a message and take lives, and they fucking did.
It's always an unfortunate event.
But what if it was something more than just terrorists? What if it was the apocalypse, like the start of the apocalypse, and they were possessed?
But it wasn't.
What if it was?
Why does he do this?
And I wish I would have remembered this. I mean, I can look it up, but didn't Nostradamus or whatever, didn't he predict this?
No.
Something about like 2 birds from the sky or something like that? Or is that one of those things
a lot of the
manipulated?
He's one of the guys I kind of want to go into eventually too. Like he has a lot of very vague, like to have an actual prediction, it needs to be exact or at least close to exact. His stuff was extremely vague that you can add that to anything.
Yeah, well, I remember reading different versions of things. Like some are like 2 steel birds from the sky will crash into, and it's like that's manipulated and made up. But I don't know. I mean, and who knows? Because after 9/11, I mean, to you, Lonnie, is that when you think the world really started to go to shit?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily went to shit, but I think really changed. I think it's when it really started getting manipulated, when sections and facts started really becoming more defined.
Snopes has that. Nostradamus did not write the quatrain that was widely attributed to him in the wake of the 9/11 attacks. The particular quatrain was offered by Marshall as a fabricated example to illustrate how easily an important sounding prophecy could be crafted. That was through Snopes.
Wow. I get in moods at times where I like to I'll watch things about 9/11, and there's one in particular, like it was a picture of a guy and his 2 little boys that were probably like 7, 8 years old. They were at the Monday night football game the night before it happened, because this happened on a Tuesday morning. And it's a picture out there of him and his sons at the game smiling. And he was a guy that was killed the following day at World Trade Center. It's just like, I find myself staring at that picture for long periods of time, just like looking at that guy and just imagining like he had no idea that he had less than 24 hours to live. He had no idea that he's at that football game enjoying time with his sons, and then the next day they're going to go to school. He's going to go to work. It's going to be a normal day, but no. I don't know how to describe it, but it's such a weird feeling that engulfs me when I see stuff like that.
Yeah, or like when your time's up, when it's like it's your time to clock out, how far fate will go to punch your clock.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Like most of us, there's only 2 days in our lives that we only have less than 24 hours. Like the day you're born, you don't have 24 hours, and the day that you die, you don't have 24 hours. But I think a lot of people take the life for granted. Like we think that we're kind of how, like we were talking about, like when we were teenagers, we thought we were immortal, but your time can be gone in just a blink of an eye. This building right here could blow up and we couldn't walk out, like
thanks for that.
That's how it is. Yeah. Well, good luck with your OCD.
I was going to say, thanks for telling the kid with OCD the building could blow up. Yeah. That's not going to fuck me up for the rest of the night.
But I mean, there's a Stoic philosophy. It's like memento mori. It's like, remember that you will die. You meditate on this, like that way that you live your life to the fullest. I mean, this guy out with his kid at a baseball game, was it? Football game. Yeah. And I'm listening. Yeah. But it's like, man, like it sucks looking at those pictures, not just 9/11, but like pictures right before the person dies.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, that sucks.
It
That's
does.
going to be us eventually, but
Yeah.
I don't know, hopefully it's not tragic like that, but
I hate thinking this way too, but sometimes it's like when I get like a picture taken or whatever like that, sometimes it runs through my mind like, God, this could be a picture that is at my funeral. Like if something tragically were to happen, like this is, you know, the picture slideshow, this could be one of the ones. This could be the main one that people, and it's like, I hate
Welcome to
thinking
my
that
world,
way,
fuckers.
but like, you know, the only thing I can wish is that, you know, it was a fucking tragic thing. Obviously that goes without saying. And too many people, I think it was over 3,000 people or near 3,000 people died that day. And you can only hope that everybody that died, for the most part, it went quick, that there was no suffering. But it's like, you know, that's not the case because people were trapped under all that rubble. And I mean, to think, I don't think people really think about that. Like, it's sort of that building that collapsed in Miami a month or so ago. Just imagine, put yourself in that person's shoes. Like, all this shit happens, especially in the middle of the night when you're in a deep sleep or whatever, and you get woken to the building collapsing out, and you're just probably in pitch black. It's just probably silent. And it's like, all you can think about is, A, where the fuck am I? B, how the fuck am I going to get out of here? And C, this is it. This is how I'm going to die. I'm sitting here.
And D, where's my phone so I can record this?
Yeah. This day and age. But
do I have insurance?
Yeah. That kind of, what you said there kind of brings me to the last question that I had for this. And
I'm good at segues. Bless you.
If this were to happen this September 11th, how different would it be having this thing happen 2021 as opposed to 2001?
That's kind of crazy because, I mean, the year after, 2002.
Jesus.
Yeah. I was adding a few years. 2002, like, everybody was so anxious, you know, like expecting something to happen on 9/11. It's like, do you really think they're going to do something on the anniversary?
Same day,
yeah, it's like that. They're looking for. I think they understand that. But this day and age, with the advancements in technology, and not only that, but the social climate of how people are. Ooh,
I would say people would feel sorry for the hijackers.
Yeah, it's like his feelings are valid. He feels like he needs to do this.
Well, one thing I think is you definitely have more angles of not only the first plane hitting, but the second plane's hitting, because everybody has their cell phones. There would have probably in the rubbish found cell phones that were inside the plane. We probably would have seen the hijackers in action, which could probably help with training.
A lot less people would have died because no one works nowadays.
That's true. Well, yeah, if it happened nowadays, they would have just been flying a plane into empty buildings because everybody's working from home.
A lot less people would have been there because there is no towers anymore.
I mean, I don't know. I think it would have made it probably easier for the hijackers because, you know, hiding their faces because you're required to wear masks on plane now and whatnot. But
all jokes aside, though, with how pro-gun and pro-rights America is, well, one, I don't think anyone going onto a plane with a box knife is going to be able to survive, like I said. Like you said earlier, like a box knife is not intimidating nowadays.
True.
But also, if you tried to restrict a lot of the freedoms that we had restricted on us back in 2001, 2002, people would lose their fucking minds. Like, try telling someone who refuses to wear a mask that they're not allowed to leave their house for a month and a half and watch what happens.
Yeah.
We already seen that. You like to destroy your own.
I do. One place I want to visit before I die is
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
Yeah.
I've never been to New York in general, but Ground Zero. Our friend John.
Yeah, he just had some pics
not too long ago, and he did video there too, and it was
actually right before his movie podcast.
Yeah, but it looks so with his video. The World Trade Centers were not very big width-wise. Like they look like very small.
I think they were smaller than Woodman, weren't they?
I feel like it.
With a lot of that stuff, they do dress it up like Mount Rushmore. Look at the downtown Omaha climate. Like, look at the postcards on that. It's like, it makes it look huge. Yeah, they're big, but they're not like grandiose like how postcards would put them.
And I also I know there's several of them, but I think there's another one in New York, but it's the museum that has pieces of planes, cars that were crushed, pieces of the building, just so much stuff from that day. And it's like, I feel like that would probably be the most interesting exhibit to go to. I would probably spend all day in there just staring at everything for, like I said about the picture with the dad and his sons, like just imagining that piece and like where that was that day. Early that morning, that was just a normal day. And now like, it's just such a weird feelings that I have with this. And hopefully we never have to go through anything like that massive again when it comes to like a terrorist attack. I hate saying it, but I'm sure that's not going to be an option. I'm sure something's being planned. And
Well, and if you think about it, that was had a huge effect on us here in the United States, but in other countries, things like that happen daily.
That's true. That is true.
It's things that happen on the Gaza Strip, the fighting there. I feel like I hear about that weekly, monthly. That's just part of their lives, unfortunately. And we're lucky enough that we don't see the fighting and we don't see the war on our homeland. But
we are a very pampered country, and I don't think a lot of people realize that. So you're missing out on a lot. Like, get outside of your state, get outside of your country, and just see the world for actually what it is. It's like you would probably reevaluate a lot of your pressing values.
Right.
Well, I think we should wrap this up here. I mean, it's, we got the 20th anniversary coming up here in a few days. I would say, one thing to take from this is that life is definitely fragile when an event like this happens. I always make it a point to tell my family that I love them when I leave. And I think it's important that everybody should, because kind of like you said, Justin, I mean, this building could implode, explode. I could get
again
the second I pull out of the parking lot here, I could get T-boned and killed. I mean, there's no controlling, like nobody knows.
We have no idea what's in that fucking box.
Yeah, that too. But take life and stuff seriously. Say goodbye to your family every day. Tell them you love them.
Wear a fucking mask.
Yeah. Wear a mask. And, yeah. So, anyways, that's what we're going to talk about for that. Also, our number one listener, my sister Stacy, her birthday is September 11th. So happy early birthday, Stacy, or probably late birthday, because I think you're about a few episodes behind. So.
My ex-fiance, her birthday was 9/11, and her mom's birthday was also 9/11.
Nice.
And that's the thing that's what people think of 9/11 for my sister. I don't know is necessarily.
It's like, can I celebrate it anymore?
It's just like, oh, this is.
I had a friend named Isis. I'm like, you might need to change your name, huh?
Yeah.
My name is Isis.
Anyways, so yeah, that was episode 30, guys. We have done 30 episodes.
We're officially old now.
We are. Well, I guess we're starting our other podcast now.
Straight into
the BPT movie podcast. But
there's no breaks here.
So, yeah, stay tuned. 4 weeks from now, you'll get episode number 31. Next week.
That's when you officially know you're old, when you're 31. You stop counting by years and start counting by decades.
We're definitely, I think, next week probably as a bonus, we'll post that video of us opening the mystery box that Lonnie got.
No, second mystery box.
Yeah, second mystery box.
The other one.
Not leaking yet.
Yeah, I don't think this one's leaking.
But, 2 weeks from now, you'll have the BPT movie review, episode 12.
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyways, Lonnie, you can take us out.
All right. Thank you so much for sitting through our rambling and our fun. Have a great evening. Have a great Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever you decide to listen to this. Most importantly, just have a good day.
Yes.
Love you.
Bye.
Dicks.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Join us next time for more absurdity that only the guys from the Boundless PodTrap can bring you.